I came to Circles from a completely different angle. For those of you who may know me, I was a city manager for a town in northeast Kansas for most of my professional career. In that role, I had contact with virtually everybody in town over some issue or another, mostly dealing with utilities. Isaac, I was the guy that turned them off. I had crews that actually went out and turned people's electricity off. I heard every story in the book. I could probably tell you all of your stories that have been told about getting your utilities back on. Some of those you could see right through, but there were others, the people who were really working to try and better themselves, to make a positive impact on both themselves and their families. But I'm a middle-class rule follower. I still had to turn their electricity off. And we didn't have many resources that we could channel these people to. We had some funds that had been donated to the city at one point that we could use to help people here and there, but it was never enough. And so we never had anything to provide these folks, no programs, no resources that could give them a little bit of hope to move forward. We moved here 5 years ago, about the same time that the Circles program was starting up. Some folks in our church said, "Hey, how would you like to learn a little bit more about Circles?" And so Diane and I sat in on the meetings and the trainings, and we got involved. For me, it was a way of finding that help, that hope for those people who really did want to get out of poverty, to really improve themselves. As you all know, Circles is that structured, organized effort that can help people move out of poverty, one family at a time, by building intentional relationships. And I've served as an ally, I've been through a lot of the training. I watched my wife deliver training for the program. And the other day I was reading an article about successful and influential people. And the more I read, the more I thought, these are our circle leaders. And let me just hit on some of the things that they were talking about and how I interpreted it. Circle leaders think for themselves. Think about the people in this room that think for themselves. I think you can all name them. Circle leaders are graciously disruptive. So they kind of disrupt my middle class framework and frame of reference. They're always asking the questions, why, or what if, or why not? Circle leaders inspire conversations. I have learned a tremendous amount from folks, just from the free food at the tables. Circle leaders leverage their networks. That's what Circles is all about. We're that network that helps folks. Circle leaders focus on what really matters. They can kind of cut through all this middle-class static and clutter that we sometimes deal with and get to the heart of the matter. Circle leaders welcome disagreement. We're free to discuss things and share our opinions, and it's okay. Circle leaders are proactive. They find ways to get things done. And now they're finding ways to make goals, to create goals and reach those. Circle leaders respond. Relationships are important to people, and we're no exception. So we're building on that. And finally, circle leaders believe. Expect the best, work to achieve their goals and their dreams. And that's what I think Circles is all about. With all these characteristics that you have, and you may not even realize that you had, you demonstrate your passion for your future. You can actually see your influence here in this community. Through Circles, we've been able to plant the seeds for an affordable medical care clinic here in this community. That's a development that's been announced. Now our sights are kind of turning towards housing so that we can maybe have some influence there to try and identify opportunities for affordable housing. When our efforts are channeled in a targeted way and we partner with our intentional friends through Circles, there's no limit to what we can accomplish. We talk a lot about relationships in Circles. I've actually made some amazing connections through Circles through circle leaders, through allies, through the volunteers that are there every week, and through the generous members of this community who are committed to improving the lives of others. These relationships have made a real difference in people's lives, including my own. I like talking about my friends and their accomplishments, and I count each of you among my friends. And you've made some amazing accomplishments as you work hard to provide a better life for yourself and your families as we walk together beside you as friends.